Special K here with another beer and booze hunting video. Now, this one's going to be a little different than our normal ones. We actually recently got a new GoPro, so hopefully our quality's a little bit better. Now, I am still trying to learn how to use it, so bear with me if the video gets a little choppy or shaky. So me and Mingo decided to do a road trip. I'd been sick for quite a few weeks. I was finally feeling a little bit better, and I needed to get out. So I called Mingo, and I said, hey, let's head up to Cincy. Let's check out Jungle Jim's and maybe the Party Source. So we went ahead and got in Mingo's new car here, and we're going to Jungle Jim's. Now, like I said, we have done a Jungle Jim's video before, but that was over 2 years ago, and I wasn't happy with the quality of it, so we decided to revisit Jungle Jim's. And of course, 2 years is a long time, so the beer section's changed pretty dramatically from the last time we've been there. Now, if you don't know what Jungle Jim's is, it is sort of like it's a grocery store that has a huge beer section, but it also has a ton of international food from all kinds of countries. They also have some small stores and restaurants inside as well. We will only be checking out the beer section and the alcohol section during this video. But it's a very cool store. They have a bunch of like planes and like spaceships and stuff hanging from the ceiling. You can actually even get a beer and walk around the store and drink while you're shopping. There's even, like, you can see right here to the side, there's like a fancy sandwich place right there. Right next to it is like a craft olive shop. And then right next to that, though, I don't think we're going to see it. There's sushi across the road there. And then there's even like a little Dollar section, which is what that little section is in there. But a very cool store. So their beer section is pretty big. I won't say it's the biggest beer section I've seen, but it's definitely the biggest beer section I've seen at a grocery store. You'll see here in a minute. Now, this is their tap section right here. You can go in there and get a beer. They always have quite a few beers on tap. Go ahead and grab you a beer, or you can grab you a sub and walk around the store and have a good time. So I didn't pick up a beer. Like I said, I was just recovering from being pretty sick. But Mingo here grabbed one. While he's getting that beer, show you guys some of the other stuff in the store. They had Guinness for like $15 an 8-pack. That's an okay price. They had some leftover Christmas stuff. This is late January we're shooting this video. So they still had a little bit of Christmas stuff laying around. Some of those daiquiri makers right there. A little high at $16. Some Tafts. Now, we haven't had any Tafts on the show, but it's something that we'll probably try at some point. A lot of people ask how do we choose beer for the show, and most of the time we try to stick to bigger, well-distributed breweries. Every once in a while we might find one that is the beer might be really unique or different, and we might pick it up. We might pick it up for the uniqueness of it, but we try to stick to stuff that's widely distributed and then they appeal to a lot of audiences. I know there are a ton of great craft beers out there. It just if we do a craft beer video, like if I pick up one of these obscure small Ohio brewery beers, it might get 100 views, and our channel runs off views. So if we don't get views, we can't buy more beer. So their prices on their beers are pretty good. I would say they're somewhere in between like a Liquor Barn and a Total Wine. If you don't know Liquor Barn, it's a chain store we have in Kentucky. It's kind of a very large chain store. Here's some Yellowtail for $4.99 for a 1.75. That's an insane price. That stuff normally runs around $12, at least in our neck of the woods. I did pick up a few bottles of that. The Pink Moscato was really, really good. I'm not a really big wine guy, but it's definitely, $5, you can't go wrong with it. They have these Dailies tea lemonades right here, 2 for $1. Those were a really good price. Didn't pick any of those up. They also had something that I forgot to record on here, but they had bottles of Bailey's Red Velvet for $2.99 a piece. That is insane. Bailey's is normally around $17 or $18 a bottle. They had this stuff for $2.99. I picked up maybe 3 or 4 bottles, and I know Mingo picked up a few bottles as well. Here's some more of their cheap wine. Like I said, I don't know too much about these wines, but I imagine these prices are pretty good. $5-6 for some of these bottles. Like I said, I'm not familiar with any of these wineries, but these are all their sale prices right now. These were their standard bottles, but I think they were selling them 2 for $5. It says $4.99 for a 1.75, but I'm pretty sure there was a worker there that told me they were 2 for $5. Some seltzers. They had seltzers scattered throughout the store. They had actually a very large seltzer section. I would say it took up like 40% of the real estate. They actually had Natural Light and Keystone Light for $9.99 a 24-pack. That is insane prices. I almost picked it up. I just wish it was like Busch. Natural Light and Keystone, even at $10, I couldn't do it. But like I said, if it was Busch or something, I would have definitely been on top of that. I saw people coming in and out of the store with cases and cases of that, and I figured they had it on sale or something before we walked in. This is the Beer Cave. They keep stuff in here they sell a lot of. Just a lot of domestic stuff. There is a few beers that you'll see in the Beer Cave that I've only ever seen at this store in Cincinnati, and I've been to hundreds of liquor stores, and you'll see what beer I'm talking about here in a second. Some Rolling Rock, this is an Narragansett. So you'll see there's Labatt Blue Light Lime. You can see one little box sitting back there. I've never seen that at a store, but what I'm talking about is you can also see Carling Black Label they have back there, which you never see anywhere. And they even have some Labatt Ice, which is not a good beer, but it's nice to see it somewhere. There's that Black Label I was talking about. Got your Genesee. Their keg prices were okay. Total Wine, at least from our area, is generally $10 to $15 cheaper on the kegs, but again, they don't have the same selection, because all their stuff is going to be local, and all the stuff is local to Kentucky's, local to us. But they did have some Country Boy and stuff there, which was nice to see, which is a Kentucky brewery. Lexington's not too far from Cincy, actually. Some Mandigator, Shock Top, Fat Tire, some Killians. They also had a single section. It was, a tall boy section, but it was kind of empty. I did see a few things that were interesting. They had some Locos up there, some Wickets. I did pick up a Bud Light Chelada I hadn't seen before. That one right there. It's I think it's lemon and chili. Now this is what got crazy. Look how cheap this beer is. This is the Little Kings. We did a review of this recently, and we were talking about how they should put it in cans. They have the Blood Orange and Lime Agave 6-packs for $4.99. Insane prices. There's a craft brewery beer there. I'm not sure what brewery that was. This is the Leinenkugels. They had the Bud Light Seltzers for $6.99. Leinenkugels for $8.99 a 12-pack for the Chocolate Dunkel. I mean, you can't beat that. There's their Genesee Cream Ale. This is the Dry Hop Cream Ale. $3.99 a 12-pack. You bet we picked up quite a few of those. Over here, you'll see another Chocolate Dunkel for $4.99 for a 6-pack of cans. Right next to that, they have their Toasted Bach for $8.99 a 12-pack of bottles, or $4.99 for a 6-pack of cans. Can't beat it. You can see sort of in the corner back there, those orange cans. Those are Seagram Spiked. Those were $5 for a flat of them, which is insane. This is just a cart of random beers. They were all $0.25. Anything in there. Good price, but that Ying got discontinued, so that's probably why you're not seeing a case of it. You see $1 pints of Yingling over there, which is pretty good. And we're getting more into the craft section. These are some of their singles. Some Avery there. There's a Trooper Day of the Dead beer. I almost picked it up, but for $15, I couldn't do it because the Iron Maiden beers traditionally haven't been that good. Some Brew Kettle. I'm assuming that's a local to Ohio brewery. Same with that one. Their beer sections were semi-organized. This section right here was supposed to be new. As you can see that orange label right there, they had staff picks for some beers, which I always like stores that have staff picks because it's nice to see if anybody else actually liked the beer that's in the store. Generally, people who work in the beer section, at least at stores like this, actually know a little bit about beer. Some Fathead. Fathead's always super popular in Ohio. We don't even get it in Kentucky. You would think we would because, we're so close to Ohio. Some Topo Chico seltzers. Now, interesting thing about those were $16.99 a 12-pack, but they actually had a sale. It didn't go in effect for 2 days, but you would get a free 12-pack if you texted a number and bought one. So, essentially, they were buy one, get one free. There's some Astra hard seltzers. They were $32.99 for a 24-pack. I've never heard of them. There's a new Bud Light sour seltzers. We definitely picked some of those up. They had the hard sodas. I didn't pick those up because I heard bad things about them, but I did pick up the sours. I haven't seen any reviews on those. There's the Crown Royal sodas at $12.99. A little bit cheaper than what I'm used to seeing in Kentucky. Some Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee, some Ketel One vodka seltzers. Now you're in the section right here. These are a lot of vodka and gin seltzers and tequila seltzers. I picked up some singles at the Party Source, and that'll be in another video at some point. The Vizzies, Swell, the Cutwater. So Cutwater, some of the best canned cocktails you can get on the market. Been trying to get in contact with them, hoping they would send us some. I quickly found out by looking through their website that they are owned by Anheuser-Busch, and I've learned that when anything is owned by Anheuser-Busch, they won't even talk to you. So I've tried many a times. Generally, the small guys will contact us and talk to us, but anything owned by Anheuser-Busch, they won't even send a reply email saying they got my email. So just how it is with those kind of companies. This is just their domestic stuff. Pretty good section of domestic stuff. Now, this is some of their imports right here. Some of their craft import beers. Some Duvel. There's some Delirium right there. Chimay. Chimay is always a good beer. Some Stella. I will say the having this new GoPro is nice. It definitely doesn't shake as much as like holding a cell phone. It's got that shake reduction. It makes a huge difference in the video. Though I feel like I have it set on wide angle here, and I feel like it's slightly distorted, but I think most GoPros kind of give you that slightly distorted angle. Some more Euro beers. Why the Killians is in the Euro beer section, I will never know. Some Samuel Smiths right there. Some more Trooper beers. Old Speckled Hen. There's some Wells Banana Bread. That's a good beer. Here's an interesting one. This is Chocolate Mint Guinness. It's Chocolate Mint Guinness aged in a bourbon barrel, and it does have a staff pick on it. We did pick this one up. It seemed like a very interesting beer. I didn't even know Guinness was releasing anything like this. So we definitely picked that one up. Here's some of their Flemish Reds and Lambics and stuff. All their kind of sour beers. Great selection, I will say, of sours. At least Lambics and Flemish Reds. You don't see a lot of those at a lot of places. Here's a lot of their. I think this is like some of the stuff's Canadian right here, and then some of it's Asian-inspired beers. I know there's some Korean beer down there, some Japanese beer here. You see some Molson Golden over there to the right. I watched a guy shortly after we walked through this aisle pick up there's like 4 cases of that Molson Golden down there. He picked up all 4 cases of it. It's one of those beers you don't see very often. A lot of places don't carry it, but some Dos Equis, Tecate. I will say something I noticed at the store. They had a lot more NA beers, and when I say NA beers, I'm not just talking about Coors and Budweiser NA beers. I'm talking about like craft. They had a whole section of craft NA beers. And it was like that at the Party Source too. They had a huge section of craft NA beers. I'm going to apologize in advance for any errors in this video. In my vocal, I try to do this in one session. We've been short videos lately, and I wanted to get some new content out to you guys as quickly as I could. Got some seltzers. It's funny, if you look at our Jungle Gyms video from 2 years ago, they had a huge seltzer, or a huge cider section. Now it's down to, one tiny little shelf. Some Rogue, some Elysian down there, Anchor, Lagunitas. Didn't have a lot of Lagunitas stuff. L. Smith. Some Kona, didn't have a lot of Kona. Alaskan's pretty good. We actually had a guy send us some beer from Alaska, from that brewery one time. Sierra Nevada, again, not a huge section of Sierra Nevada stuff. They did have that Powdered Snow IPA. That was a new one I have not seen before, but all the rest of their stuff is pretty common. There's some Dale's. They got that 1050 No Chub and Dale's Pale Ale, great beer. Blue Moon Haze down there. I could not find a single of that. I did want to pick it up because we had a lot of requests for it, but haven't got around to doing it, and I can't justify buying a 12-pack of it. Now, I will say this store had a ton of people in it, so, like I said, if you see the camera getting a little jerky or wiggling around, I'm trying to dodge people. I did pick up that Voodoo Ranger Agent, I think it was like Agent 77. I picked up that one, so I had not seen that one before. Some breweries I haven't heard of in here. Neon Bear Hug. I remember that from the last time I was here. I've seen that beer quite a few times. Some Goose Island stuff. Some Omegang. Deer Slayer. I'm a huge fan of like simple like cans. I feel like some craft beers, they put too much on their cans. Like this Deer Slayer can right here, it's nice and simple. I like that look. You don't need to have crazy artwork on every can. It's nice to see common, just nice plain cans sometimes. Some Sweet Baby Jesus, some Dogfish Head, some Flying Dog stuff. Pretty decent section of Flying Dog. That's all the Sam Adams I had, was right there in that little section. Some Founders Fruitwood. There's a new one, a Scarlet Dawn. I haven't seen that one before. Some Dragon's Milk. Some Braxton's. This is the Kentucky section. Braxton right here, which is a local brewery to Kentucky. It's right across the bridge. Against the Grain, that's in downtown Louisville. Kentucky Bourbon Barrel, that's in Lexington. Kentucky Ale, that's also in Lexington. And then Country Boy there at the bottom. Some more Fathead. Brewdog. Going a little fast. This owl had a lot of people in it. Some Rheingeist. This is some Cincy stuff. They had quite a few new Rheingeists out there. Mingo's pointing out this is a Bootsy Collins beer. If you're not a music guy, if you're a music guy, you know who Bootsy Collins is. But we did pick up this beer just because it had Bootsy Collins on the front of it. We picked up a single, of course. As you guys can see up here, here's the single section. Their single prices were okay. You're talking $3-4 for a single for most of these beers. A few that were $2. Average single prices. So I went through these kind of fast. There really wasn't much. There wasn't too much in the single section. A lot of them are cleaned out. A lot of stores are doing away with, buying singles this way. But, as far as craft beers go, I think the single thing, it needs to be at stores because some people don't want to go and buy 4 6-packs to try 4 different beers. That can be $50, $60. It's nice to be able to, even if I'm paying $3 for a single, it's nice to be able to buy, a few singles here and there to try them out and see if I like the beer. Then I can come back and buy the 6-pack. But I know, at least in locally where we live at, stores like Kroger, our grocery stores, and Walmarts, they no longer do singles. Myers no longer does the singles like that. And then stores like Liquor Barn, which is a huge liquor store, they're doing away with the singles. The only store that it looks to me like they're not going to do away with the singles is Total Wine. Their single section for beer is still huge, which is nice to see. But everybody else seems like they're doing away with them. So we didn't spend too much time. Their wine section was honestly bigger than their beer section. We were really limited to time. We had to get back. Mingo had another engagement, and I had to be home. I had to work the next day, and I had to, get ready for the work week and take care of my daughter. But a huge wine section. Now, Ohio, unlike Kentucky, they allow wine sales in their stores along with their beer. In Kentucky, they cannot sell wine in grocery stores. I think it's anything over 14% has to be sold into a liquor store in Kentucky. Here, the only thing they have to sell in a liquor store is liquor, so you notice that there isn't any, whiskey or anything in the store. That's because towards the back here, they actually have a liquor store, and we'll look at that in a minute. I believe Jungle Jim's even has its own winery here. I'm not too sure about that, but it looked like there was towards the back there. As you can see, that sign in the background says State Liquor Store. I don't even know. don't know if they're state ran. I'm assuming they're... I really don't know if Ohio has state ran liquor stores. Now that I think of it, I don't think I've been to another liquor store in Ohio other than this one. The Party Source is technically in Kentucky, so they're their own entity, but I don't think I've ever seen them. Apparently, they sell Delta 8 here too. That's what Mingo was just talking about. Delta 8 is illegal in Kentucky right now. There's a $95 bottle of wine. I didn't see that. So here's another clearance section. They got some of the Chi-Chi stuff. They have some kind of rosé canned, like $2.99 for a 4-pack there. The Chi-Chis, everybody has the Chi-Chis for $1. But that I should have picked some of those up because it's actually a $30 bottle of liqueur sitting in the cart for $10. I didn't realize what it was at the time. You see those things with the white tops there? That's vodka. $2 for that whole pack of vodka. It was orange flavored vodka. Never heard of the brand, but I mean that's not a bad price. And then this other cart, they actually had Canadian Club. I think that was $4, which is pretty decent for the little tiny bottles. Those are really convenient for when you're like camping or like traveling and stuff. The small bottles. Now this is the liquor store section. They didn't have the best selection, at least what I'm used to, and their prices were, I would say, slightly higher than Total Wine, but still cheaper than most like mom and pop liquor stores. So pretty decent prices. They didn't have a huge bourbon section, which is to be expected, but they had a pretty large tequila section, as you can see right here. They even had a little bit of mezcal there. They had the essentials and then quite a few tequilas I hadn't seen before. We didn't spend a lot of time in the store. Again, we had a very limited budget, and unfortunately we couldn't afford to buy anything from the liquor store at this time. There's some old smoky stuff down there. They had a few leftover, you can see a few leftover Christmas sets. Ketel One vodka. There's a Pride Absolute bottle. I don't remember seeing that one before. Big bottles of Finlandia. There's that Natter Days. I did find the other flavors of Natter Days. You guys will see it in our next new pickups. There is a pomegranate Ciroc. I was tempted to get that one, but $30 for vodka. It's hard for me to do. Some 3 Olives there. Smirnoff. There's Smirnoff Infusions, which aren't that bad. They're definitely better than their other base flavors. So this was interesting. You can see me picking up a bottle of Nikolai here in a second. Now, our Nikolai bottles in Kentucky are black labeled. And I thought maybe this was a higher proof or something, but it's the same proof. I don't know if they're changing their labels or what, but I'd never seen the Nikolai with the red label before. Pinnacle. A lot of Bacardi Black. Now, this is the section of questionable liquor. Most of the stuff here is super cheap. You can see right in the middle there's a white bottle. That's grape vodka. Like, why is it brown? All those bottles of vodka down there were under $5. I should have picked one of those up, but I don't think they don't let you carry the liquor around the store, so we would have to buy it, go out to the car, and this store's huge, and again, we didn't want to walk around with it either. Fireballs, which you'd expect. Everybody loves their Fireball. Some Kahlua. They had a pretty huge cream liqueur section. A lot of this stuff right here, almost all of it, minus the bottom there, which is flavored rum. You have this cream liqueur. They had quite a few bourbon creams. They had some rum creams there. Obviously, our wonderful rum chata. That Godiva, which we haven't tried yet, the Godiva cream. And there's some of their old smoky creams, too, which apparently they have a strawberry one now, which I haven't seen before. Oh, good old Buzz Balls. I can't believe this exists. I don't know who would pay $19 for one of those. I was going to buy one as a joke until I saw that they were $19. I figured they would be like $6 or $8, but then I realized regular Buzz Balls are like $4. Not a good deal. Now here's their schnapps section. Surprisingly good schnapps. They carried a lot of Mr. Boston flavors, which Mr. Boston is a Kentucky brand that I've never seen before. All these bottles are liters for under $5, which is pretty good for schnapps. I did notice, if anybody's looking for cactus juice, you'll see in a minute they had a lot. I noticed that the Cupper was switching over to their liter bottles to plastic. They had always been glass, and all the ones I've seen recently were glass, but all the ones here were in kind of cheap plastic bottles. And their liters were only $1 more. There's the cactus juice I just mentioned in liter bottles, $12. Here's the place to get it if you're looking for it. Dr. McGillicuddy's was just surprisingly good schnapps, but it's kind of high in price. Thank you guys for watching this video. We ended it here. Like I said, the liquor store was kind of small. I hope you liked this video. We will have another beer and booze hunting video up soon from the Party Source. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them, and thanks for watching.